Hi there, I think we're live. I'm going to pop over to Zoom because there's a lag and it always messes with me. Okay, I think we're good to go. How are you guys? My name is Taylor Short and I am partnering with We Will Get Through This because the mission is amazing and mental health is so important and support for everyone is so important, but it's especially important with everything that we are going through right now. And so I'm excited to be partnering with them and helping to provide support to you guys. And so today, and kind of my signature video or offering that I'll be doing right now through We Will Get Through This is a midday mindfulness break. So the intention is really for you to step out of the computer. I mean, I get it, I'm on the computer, but step out of your work computer, step away from the busyness of your work day, and have even just 15 minutes to embrace some mindfulness that will help bring us back to our center, because we oftentimes find ourselves pushing so hard in the day. And while that can get kind of addicting and thinking that, you know, our stress hormones are going, we need to do more, we need to do more. Oftentimes what we need to do is stop and take a break. And so that's the intention of these midday mindfulness sessions, and hopes of simple support that will help you pause, reset your nervous system, and bring you back to your center. So today we are going to be practicing mindful listening. So I invite you to find a comfortable seat. Maybe you want to lay down. We're going to keep our eyes closed. So if you're driving, obviously don't keep your eyes closed, but you can come back to this video or however that best supports you, but find that comfortable seat. Close down your eyes. And begin to come into your body. The simplest way to do that is by breathing in with our breath. So breathing deeply into your belly and exhaling completely. Inviting your mind inward into your body now. Breathing in deeply into your belly. And exhale completely. Slowing down our minds, our heart rate. One more big, deep inhale here into our belly. And slow, long exhale out. So as we embark in this mindfulness exercise of mindful listening, this is a tool that you can use in your back pocket if it's something that resonates with you. And my favorite place to practice this is outside in nature. Maybe you're at your computer now and you're not in nature, but just know you can either imagine you are, or take this practice with you next time you go out and try it there. But for today, we're going to meet ourselves where we are. So with our eyes closed, we're focusing in on our sense of hearing today. And I want you to begin to imagine and just focus solely on listening with your left ear. And if you're only focusing on what's on the left side of you with your left ear, what can you hear? Perhaps you can hear another person. Maybe the ruffling of leaves. Maybe it's silent where you are. Can you imagine what's as far out as you can imagine, what you could imagine hearing outside of your building even would sound like right now? Focusing solely on your left ear. And then bringing it closer into the room that you're in. How does that feel? What does your experience shift when you get closer towards your body and your left ear? And then closest to you, what can you hear? Can you hear anything? And pausing and resetting, allowing that to be let go for a moment. We're not going to be focusing on the left ear anymore, and just let your mind and body relax momentarily while we shift over to now picture your focus going into your right ear. What can you hear? Here, maybe starting out this time close to you. What can you hear that is close to you on your right side? Maybe you intentionally make a little noise on your right side and see how that changes your experience. And then focusing further out away from you on your right side, listening. Be outside of the room that you're in or further away. Can you hear maybe a conversation? Maybe people moving around. Maybe even an airplane flying by. And noticing without judgment what it's like to intently listen only to the right side of you with your right ear. And then letting that go, coming back into just a neutral place as we shift now into focusing our hearing behind us. So using both ears now, what can you hear behind you, immediately behind you, close to you? How does your breath sound when you're focusing on listening from behind? Expanding out, what can you imagine with your ears and your hearing behind you? Further out, maybe out of the room that you're in or your immediate location. And then even further out, even the tiniest hint of sound, perhaps only with your imagination, far behind you. Maybe you can picture the cars. Maybe there's a river far behind you. What would that sound like? And then letting that go and relaxing, coming back into your center for another moment as we now shift into listening to what is right in front of us. This tends to be our default as our eyes as Homo sapiens is in front of us. We're always looking forward. And you know, our senses tend to go with what we can see. So what can you hear directly in front of you? Perhaps my voice, your breath. What's further in front of you? Outside of your room or your building, your immediate area. And then what can you imagine you can hear far away in front of you? Focusing all of your listening on your frontal view. And then letting that go and relaxing, now shifting towards what you can hear above you. All the way going up to the sun or the moon or the stars and that whole realm. What sounds can you pick up above you? If you're outside, you may be fortunate to hear bugs and birds and leaves. Maybe you hear people walking above. Maybe you hear an airplane high above. Focusing solely on listening right above your head. And then letting that go and coming into focus on your hearing below you. This is my favorite part to imagine. What can you hear below you? So maybe you can hear within yourself some of your internal organs working so beautifully for your health and your vitality. Maybe you can hear people walking on the ground. And then what can you imagine hearing under the earth below you? Even if you can't actually hear it, what can you imagine? Can you imagine hearing the tree roots growing? The earthworms moving around, all of the life that is happening underneath our feet. What would that sound like? Focusing all of your attention, all of your listening underneath of you. And then letting that go and letting that relax. And lastly, taking a deep breath as we transition into the last portion of this. Breathe in deeply. Exhale completely. And now, having gone through all of those sections, can you listen from a 360-degree vision? Can you hear from every angle, close and far, relaxing your mind and just letting your hearing take this 360-degree intake. Notice how your body and your mind react to this view. Perspective, I should say. Hearing from the left and the right, back to front, above and below, all around you. What can you hear? And then we'll start to slowly come back with our mind into this location where you're at. And just notice any difference in your body as you went through this mindfulness exercise and you're focusing so intently on your incredible sense of hearing. And how maybe your nervous system has shifted. And when you're ready, you can drop your head down and slowly begin to blink open your eyes and come back into this space. In your own time, when you're ready, and just noticing how simple practice of focused mindfulness on one of your senses can really shift your perspective, can shift your day, can shift your nervous system. So this is a tool that you can use at any time when you need to come back to stillness, to get your mind from racing and thinking about things all day. This is a simple tool and technique to use this. And like I said, I love doing it outside in nature. Gives your brain so much more to ponder and get curious about. But I hope this was helpful for you guys for today and giving yourself a brain break. And I will be on here next week. And I know we've got a lot of other wonderful healers and supporters that are going to be on here throughout this week as well. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for spending this little break time with me. Take good care.